I'm Fernanda, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can dress warm and still look cute in cold winter weather. Nobody likes being cold and uncomfortable in winter, but throwing on random thick layers will not only not necessarily be the warmest thing that you can put on, but it will create this bulky feeling, which is a completely different kind of uncomfortable, and also it doesn't look that cute. Personally, I've never met anybody who's going for Michelin cute. In this video, I'm going to share with you 5 very basic tips for dressing warm and still looking stylish, and how Michelle Obama put all of these into practice with her most recent inauguration look. And if you are new to this channel, then don't forget to subscribe. I make videos to help you create a wardrobe that you love without having to buy a million things to do so. Let's get started. My first tip for dressing warm and still looking stylish in winter is to pick your base layer carefully. When you're trying to dress warm, your base layer, which fits closest to your body, is the most important layer. And it really serves 2 purposes. 1, it should retain the body heat that your body is naturally already producing. And 2, it should repel the moisture that your body produces, aka the sweat, because this will keep you dry and therefore warm the longest. So you want to pick something that fits really close to your body, ideally in a natural material like wool or silk. If natural materials are not in your budget, there are fantastic synthetic options on the market, but keep in mind that those are not as good as repelling odors, so they may need to be washed more often. And when I say base layer, I mean that every single part of your body should be covered in a layer that ideally will never see the light of day, but that keeps you warm. And this means your top, leggings, and please don't be that person that's wearing like 5 layers on top and a single layer on the bottom, because that is a classic rookie mistake, and wool socks. This will make the biggest difference. I find that if you nail your base layer and your top layer, then anything else you put in between really doesn't have that much effect in your overall body temperature, within reason of course, and you can play around a lot more with your personal style. My second tip is to pay close attention to the materials that your clothes are made of. When you're trying to dress warm, the materials that you're wearing matter way more than the number of layers you can put on, which is great if you're trying to avoid the Michelin look. But this is particularly important when choosing your coat or your outermost layer. You want to make sure that you're picking something that at the very least is water resistant, if not completely waterproof. This will ensure that even if you get a little bit wet, your clothes and therefore your body underneath it will stay dry and therefore warm. Certain materials like cottons, acrylics, and even certain polyesters are terrible at retaining heat when they get wet. This means that if there's any moisture, whether it's snow or a little bit of rain or anything like that, and you get a little wet, then you will definitely get cold. Instead, I recommend that you pick something that is made out of wool. It has to be at least 80% wool so that it actually keeps you warm. And for style, you want to make sure that it fits you properly, especially at the shoulders. Clothes that fit you properly will always look better on you. Make sure that you consider how much precipitation there will be wherever you are living or visiting before picking your winter coat. But let me tell you, if you can afford to be concerned about looking cute, chances are that you don't need a full-blown snowsuit and you can get away just fine with a long wool coat. Let me know in the comments below where you live or where you're planning on visiting, and I will reply back to you with some tips. My third tip is to pay close attention to the shoes that you're choosing to wear in the winter. When it comes to shape, anything with a pointy toe will automatically elongate the line of your outfit because it will make the eye continue to draw down past your feet, as opposed to something that is chunkier like a square toe or a rounded toe, which will crop the visual line. Now, obviously, shoes are an outer layer as well, so you want to pay close attention to the material they're made of, particularly at the sole. Because the thicker the sole, the warmer you will be. Essentially, the more space you're putting between your body and the elements, the more that you can retain your own body heat. This doesn't mean that you have to go crazy, but anything about 1/4 of an inch or about 1/2 centimeter or more will keep you warmer than anything less than that. Anything that is texturized rubber in particular will be great at preventing you from slipping on ice. Obviously, since shoes are an outer layer, if you can find something waterproof, that would be best because it will prevent any water from seeping into the shoe and getting your feet wet, therefore cold. And bonus points if you can find something that is fleece lined or wool lined, because this will keep your feet really warm the longest. Obviously, if it is snowing really heavily or if you're treading through a lot of snow accumulation, then you will need something more robust and particular to that activity. But for most cities, something with a good sole that is fleece lined should be enough. I will leave you some links in the description box below of some options that I've found. My fourth tip is to balance out the proportions of the outfits. Depending on what you have available to wear, you may end up with a bulkier top or bottom. But to make it look as sleek as possible, if you end up with a thick sweater, pair it with a slim pair of pants, and if you end up with a full skirt, then pair it with something that is more form-fitting on top. Essentially, you want to make sure that the overall shape of your body is still discernible in some way even after you've put your winter clothes on. And this is a great tip, by the way, regardless of whether it's winter or not, because the eye overall really likes balance. When you bulk all around, that's when you start getting Michelin. Tip number 5 is to stick to a neutral color palette and minimal pattern when it comes to your winter accessories. If you've been watching my videos before, you know that I wholeheartedly believe this. Your accessories can either make or break an outfit. And particularly when it comes to your winter accessories, your hats, gloves, scarves, those have the ability to either tie the entire look together or make it completely clash. The easiest way to make your accessories work with your outfit is to match them to each other and then match those to your winter coat. This doesn't necessarily mean that everything has to be the same color or even part of a set, but if you can lay them next to each other and make sure that they tell a cohesive story and that they harmonize well together, it will instantly pull anything else going on in your outfit together and it will make it look great. A great example of all of these tips being put into practice was Michelle Obama with the outfit that she wore to Joe Biden's inauguration. She was wearing a wool turtleneck sweater that fit very close to her body, paired with a pair of flare-leg trousers that balanced out the proportions of the outfit. Over that, she was wearing a long wool coat, and she kept her accessories very neutral and matching to each other and to the coat. And I bet you anything you want that underneath it all, she was wearing a good base layer and wool socks. Let me know what you think of these tips for dressing warm in the comments below, and if you like this video, please don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and share it with a friend who is always cold. And if you're looking for more style tips, I will leave you 2 videos linked that you can watch next. This one will help you determine your personal style, and in this one I created 30 outfits out of a 15-piece winter capsule wardrobe. Don't forget to come back next week because I will show you how you can assess the quality of a handbag. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!